case of State of West Virginia versus Jerod Green, defendant. It is case number 13-298. This matter is set for a plea hearing. The record will reflect the presence in the State of West Virginia by Marshall Ashdown, prosecuting attorney, and Craig Christopher, assistant prosecuting attorney. Reflect the presence of the defendant, Jerod Green, in person, and by counsel Clinton Smith. Are the parties ready to proceed? Ms. Ashdown?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Smith?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Green, would you state your full name for the record, please?
Jerod Green.
Have a seat. Mr. Green, you are here before the court with your attorney, Mr. Smith, pursuant to an indictment determined by the September 2013 term of the grand jury for the Circuit Court of Miami-Dade County, West Virginia, charging you with the offenses of driving under the influence of alcohol, third or subsequent offense, the felony charge with count 1, leaving the scene of a vehicle crash causing vehicle damage, the misdemeanor charge in count 2, fleeing from an officer causing bodily injury, the felony charge in count 3, fleeing a vehicle while under the influence of alcohol, the felony charge in count 4, and fleeing from an officer with reckless indifference. Let's see, that looks like a misdemeanor charge to count 5. Are you the same Jerod Green named in this indictment?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Green, I'm advised that there has been a plea bargaining in this case, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did your attorney engage in the plea bargaining process with your consent and at your request?
Yes, sir.
Are you prepared to enter your pleas now?
Yes, sir.
Before entering your pleas, do you want to have more time to discuss it with your attorney or with anyone else?
No, sir.
You can remain seated. Jerod Green, how do you plead to the offense of driving under the influence of alcohol, third or subsequent offense, the felony charge in count 1 of the indictment?
Guilty.
How do you plead to the offense of fleeing from an officer causing bodily injury, the felony offense charged in count 3 of the indictment?
Guilty, sir.
How do you plead to the offense of fleeing from an officer with reckless indifference, the felony offense charged in count 5 of the indictment?
Guilty.
The record will reflect that the defendant has entered pleas of guilty to the offense of driving under the influence of alcohol, third or subsequent offense, the felony charged in count 1 of the indictment, fleeing from an officer causing bodily injury, the felony offense charged in count 3 of the indictment, and fleeing from an officer with reckless indifference, the felony offense charged in count 5 of the indictment. Ms. Ashdown, what would the state expect to prove in this case to went to trial?
Your Honor, the sequence of events as it pertains to the counts in this indictment began in the early hour of February 18, 2012. And that was at the time when the defendant, while driving up Easton Hill toward the mile ground, crossed the center line and crashed his car into the car of Skylar Johnson. He left that scene without stopping. However, police were quick to respond to that call. Deputy Sheriff Jeff Burks was in the vicinity and responded, as did a state trooper. And so a BOLO alert was issued regarding that hit and run, as we would call it. As the defendant was passing through Granville on his way north out of town, an officer from Granville Police Department observed damage to this vehicle that was described as being a black pickup truck. And the observation was made as to damage appearing on the passenger side of the vehicle and on the driver's side of the vehicle. And so that vehicle was stopped, and in that truck was the defendant, Jerod Green. It was determined pretty quickly that Mr. Green was under the influence of alcohol and/or other substances. And as he was being questioned there at roadside pertaining to the possibility that his vehicle had been involved in the hit and run, he left that scene where he was being questioned He had been asked to get out of his vehicle to, I imagine, do field sobriety tests because police were convinced or certainly had probable cause at that time to believe the defendant was driving under the influence. Nonetheless, the defendant inclined, refused to get out of his car, in fact, took off from that location in Granville. The count 3 of the indictment that pertains to fleeing from an officer causing bodily injury relates to the fact that Deputy Wilfong, who was involved in that vehicle stop, had his arm reaching into the vehicle to get the keys from the defendant because it appeared that he was not going to get out of the truck. And in fact, as I said, he did not, and he took off instead with Trooper Wilfong clinging to the car, or Officer Wilfong, not Trooper. And there were at least minor injuries received by Dave Wilfong from that event. And as the police made chase after the defendant left that scene, the chase continued on within Monongalia County with various officers following and attempting to stop the defendant. And at least one of those occasions, and during part of that chase, the defendant actively moved his vehicle in a way that placed Deputy Burks at risk of receiving injury, and that is the evidence that would pertain to count 5, in which the defendant is charged with fleeing from an officer with reckless indifference. And finally, Your Honor, it was learned, as it pertains to count 1 of the indictment, the driving under the influence of alcohol, third or subsequent offense, that the defendant had prior convictions in the state of Oklahoma in various courts there, which made this third or subsequent offense of DUI the felony offense that's charged. And that is the evidence that we would present if there were a trial in this case.
Thank you. Mr. Green, I'm advised by the plea agreement that you are entering these pleas of guilty pursuant to North Carolina v. Alford and Kennedy Frazier. I guess the long and short of that is because of that, you will not be offering